Good afternoon, Dr. Lowe, my fellow students for the MAD Capstone EDU 695. My name is Bryan Bailey, and I'm go ahead and posting my video, which I'll post to YouTube, which will be have links to the Pathbright and any discussion I have with the introduction for the first week of class. A little bit about myself. I'm a corrections educator. I am a GED teacher / administrator for a large men's prison outside of Tampa, Florida. We have almost 2,000 men at the prison. At any given time, I have anywhere from 300 to 400 inmates a day receiving academic or vocational services. And even though there can be a lot of times it can be a tough job, it can be also be very rewarding. So a little bit about myself. What are some of the goals I want to accomplish with my career in the Florida prison system? Well, one of course, the obvious would be to finish my degree and earn my master's in education leadership, in which eventually I aspire to become either a testing supervisor and or education supervisor, basically where I would oversee whole education programs, where you would have oversight of funding different types of teachers such as GED, ABE, Title I, special education. You could become a certified testing administrator for GED and TABE. And eventually, I just would like to do work my entire career as a corrections educator / adult education. Okay. So let's talk about one of the prior challenges I had in the class. And one of the big challenges I had was in my training. We would start with goals and objectives, but the one challenge I really had problems with was backwards design, which is known as URL. And with the backwards design, it starts with the end means first. What is the assessment? What do you how are you going to gauge your students' mastery of the subject being taught? So three parts of URL or backwards design is one. Identify desired results. 2, determine acceptable evidence of learning, which is in this case in adult education it's either TABE and or GED standardized tests. And 3, design learning experiences and instructions. Okay. So why was this an issue for me, and why was it a challenge? Because, like I said, my training was that you would write your goals and objectives first. Okay. So how did I overcome this during the 6-week course that I took? Well, again, I did the coursework. I studied. I consulted former teachers from high school. I talked to other professionals in my field who teach at other prisons. I also talked to other professors, and it was basically through my own trial and error where I became proficient enough to write GED lessons where you have the desired results first, and then work your way that way. Okay. So how was the Masters in Ed Leadership supporting my goals in becoming a more proficient corrections educator / administrator? Well, the first thing I have learned is I learned a lot more formal terminology and practices. The formal terminology, the practices I have been doing over 11 years. And many of these theories and practices have led to my own personal professional development to improve my GED lessons and to prepare my students for better GED and TABE assessments. Okay. All right. So, real quick, the Pathbright reflection. I kind of like the platform. I think it's pretty manageable. I'm just having some issues in downloading and copy and pasting my work to this. The question is, though, I have this, but what use, or what can this be of any use to adult education, GED students, educators, or administrators? Okay, and that's hopefully that's something I'll keep in mind and work on during this course. And I mean, no offense, I'm just asking an honest, legitimate question from my field. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk about in my video is quotes that would reflect 21st century. Okay. In today's economy and in today's social structure, it's pretty much accepted that people would have some sort of technological proficiency in order to survive, and that could be with your cell phones, your laptops, your iPads, iPods, all the latest tech gear, even watches through such as Apple. I saw today on CNN.com are creating smart watches. Well, a lot of the inmates that I teach have been in prison for over 20 years, and the technological times have left them far behind. A lot of them don't even have a concept that cell phones have replaced landline phones now, and so trying to fight a losing battle, trying to teach these men some sort of basic technological skills before they're put before parole and probation or release from prison. It's a tough challenge to overcome. So I quote from Victor Hugo, who is one of the most renowned French writers of his time. He wrote such great works such as Les Miserables. And I quote from him from 1854. Victor Hugo once said, "He who opens a school door closes a prison." And basically, that's something I keep in mind every morning when I open the school classrooms of eight classrooms that I oversee in my education building, and also my coworker who is the vocational teacher who teaches 2 vocational classes. That's something we keep in mind, is that we're trying to open minds and trying to get students to learn and to enter into a realm of learning, and to also always trying to constant and improvement for themselves. So that's my video. I will work on posting it to Pathbright, and I'll be posting some notes to my introduction later tonight. Please feel free. View my video, tell me what you think, and I look forward to working and collaborating with everybody in this class. Thank you, and have a good night.